Hello, hello, hello. Christy here from Version of You 2.0. Hi. I'm here just a little bit early. I thought I'd sneak in, see if any of you wanted to come in and join me. I'm actually going to create a poll for you. So, how are you enjoying? Let's do a better question. How's the content? God, I can't type today. So far, allowed you to better understand your unique needs, your body's unique needs. Yes or no? Yes, I'm going to sneeze. Pardon me. One more. Excuse me. They always come in threes. I'm sure that's good luck. Oh, okay, safe. So I've created a poll. I've never done that before, so this will be a fantastic experience for us. We've got 2 viewers so far. Hello, hello, hello. So I'll go ahead and get started. It's 5 o'clock on the dot. I never want to waste your time, but I did jump in a little bit early. I will tell you that I am currently in Tony Robbins Business Mastery. So it started yesterday. It ran from 9 a.m. until 12:30 a.m. the next day. So this morning, and then tonight, I don't know when it's going to end. But the information that I'm learning is absolutely phenomenal. Now, I'm telling that to you because anytime we want to transform our lives, we need to go back to school. So as a business owner, I needed to go back to school and learn how to run my business. And I've done that 2 ways. I've actually joined a holistic business school whose values resonate with my values so that I can align my business strategies with my values. And I joined the Tony Robbins University in order to accelerate the growth of my business. So right now I'm in the level 1 business mastery, and then I'll be going into level 2 business mastery to exponentially grow my business. So I am going to be looking for people who are interested in working with me in some capacity. So if you are interested and you have different skill sets, I won't go into those skill sets right now. That's a conversation we can have at a later date. But if this is something that you think that would appeal to you, by all means, reach out to me and we can have the discussion as to what your skill sets are and if we would be a good fit for each other. All right. Now, let's go ahead and get into day number 4 of Shrink Your Waistline and Expand Your Mind. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I've got a very exciting day for you today. I'm just getting it right now. There we go. And as usual, I'm just going to grab the chat. So if you are on Zoom with me, I will once again say hello. Please feel free to chat with me there if you've got any questions. And as always, Facebook, just going to refresh and check in with you here. Go ahead and say hello. So I know who is with me. I can tell that people are here, but I actually don't know who until you say hello. Back to school, Christina. Yes, back to school. Well, you know that investing in your personal and professional development is key to success, and that any billionaire, any millionaire on the planet would say to you that the biggest and most crucial investment they've ever made in order to give themselves the lifestyle they wanted to live had to do with personal investment, right? And professional development investment. So that's what I'm doing. I'm really focusing on my personal development and my professional development, and I'm investing a lot of energy, a lot of time and finances to do that so that I can live the life that by design I was born to live. So Christina, I know that you are doing that as well. Wendy is also here. Fantastic, ladies. Keep them coming, okay? And as always, if you've got questions, ask the questions. So welcome back for another juicy day on understanding you a little bit further. I really hope so far that you have found the information to be relevant and helpful in you understanding your uniqueness and the unique differences in us all, because it's so much easier to accept somebody else's personality traits, especially when they're the dominant personality traits, when you understand that that's just really part of their DNA. That is who they are as a human being. And, you know, when we can accept that, we can build more of that tolerance and trust and acceptance, which is so important right now, right? So if we understand some of our dominant personality traits, we can be more mindful, tolerant, patient, and understanding. And we can really work towards that vision of global transformation that I have for version of you 2.0, where one person's transformation journey positively influences, inspires, and motivates others to take back control of their own health and well-being. Think about it. Think about what you've just learned so far in the 3 days up until this point. What are some of the new decisions that you're going to be making for yourself? And when someone turns to you and says, "Oh, Christina, you're looking so good. Oh, Wendy, you're looking so good. What diet are you following? I'd like to follow that too." Instead of saying, "I'm on the ketogenic diet, I'm on the intermittent fast diet, I'm on the macrobiotics diet, I'm on the whatever diet," you'll be able to say, "You know what? I'm on a personalized diet based on my unique needs. I'm going to suggest that you reach out to Christy because she's got a free workshop that helps you to identify what your unique needs are as well." Or at the very least, what you're doing is you're identifying to them that we're not a one-size-fits-all approach. And that's the major mistake that the weight loss industry is making. So by you being here today, you can actually change how other women feel about their own bodies. How important would that be for you? How many people do you know, your sisters, you know, your mother, your best friend, your children? How many people do you know have issues with their self-confidence around their body image? And by simply just telling them that maybe their approach is not the right approach, and it's not that they're doing anything wrong, it's that there may be a better way that they can do it differently that serves their unique body type, so they can fully embrace that. That totally releases all of the shame and guilt and the frustration. I'm really hoping you're getting some of that out of this and how you can really impact other people's lives as a result. There we go. Sorry, a little bit of technical difficulties there. So today we're going to be discussing what is next for you in your powerful weight loss journey, where you can go and what might be stopping you. In addition, we're going to be diving into the subconscious mind to help you understand how some of the most common phrases that you may be using, the decisions that you're making, the actions that you are taking may be causing you unnecessary resistance in achieving your goals. Now, listen, if you're going to set a goal and you're going to come up with all of the ways in which you're going to strategically achieve that goal, wouldn't you want to make that as effortless as possible? To me, that's a hell yes answer. Well, we're going to learn about some of those strategies today by understanding the subconscious mind. So let's go ahead and get into the summary of what was learned yesterday for anybody who's going to be joining us live or on the replay that hasn't watched yesterday's replay. So yesterday we discussed the extrovert and the introvert, how these polar opposites can combine forces to overcome almost any obstacle that either of them alone would have to deal with. So the endomesomorph, our extrovert, is our social butterfly whose satisfaction in life comes directly from deep connections within her social circle. She needs people to feel fulfilled and thrives when she can combine eating, playing, and working with socializing. The ectomorph, who is our introvert, our introspective archetype, prefers solitude and calm environments. They work very well independently and have this amazing gift for seeing a design or product in its finished state before it's even begun. Their creative and artistic capabilities, their eye for detail and need to plan ahead are some of their differentiating characteristics. We also learned that while the endomesomorph can exercise at any time of the day and would do well with fitness activities like CrossFit, which really encompasses community, the ectomorph prefers activities that stimulate their brain, like choreographed-based classes, or even grounding type workouts like Tai Chi and yoga. So, where are we going today? Well, your journey in your weight loss transformation starts right here, right now at 5:09 p.m. So let's dive into what's next for you. Now, let's consider your health goals by thinking about the future. Now, this is really important. So while you're with me, I want you to close your eyes for a moment. And if you're sitting, if you have the capacity to do so, the capability to do so, the space to do so, please go ahead and stand and just shake out your body for a moment. Okay, this is important. You need to be in the proper physiological state to hear what it is that I'm saying, to accept what it is I'm saying, so that you can then respond with the truth. Okay, so have you shaken it out a little bit? Fantastic. And do this. Don't just sit on the sidelines, right? Participate, play full out. So what would your health status be like for you if we were to project your life and move it forward along your timeline within 3 to 5 years from now, if you maintained your current lifestyle habits? Think about that. What would you look like? What kind of ailments might you have? If you have any now, what kind of ailments potentially worsen? How would your energy level be? How would your relationship with your partner be, particularly in the bedroom? How would your relationship with yourself be like when you look at yourself in the mirror? What would your habits be like at night when you're watching TV? What would your habits be like when you're stressed, sad, frustrated, or disappointed? What kind of decisions would you make about your health in 3 to 5 years from now if you maintained the same lifestyle habits that you have today? What's that trajectory look like in your mind? What do you see? What do you feel? What are the words that are coming out of your mouth in that 3 to 5 year version of yourself? Next, ask yourself, who might benefit if you focused on improving your health? So what if in 3 to 5 years from now, you did something differently than you've done up until this point? And whatever you did differently, it stuck. It wasn't a Band-Aid solution that you've adopted in the past. It was something different. It was something unfamiliar to you. It required you to push yourself outside of your comfort zone. How might those changes in your psychology and your physiology affect other people? So who might benefit from you leaning into the fear now in making those changes? What is one goal that you would like to get started with right away? If you were to say yes to yourself and do something differently that you hadn't done before, what would be one goal that you would have to make in order to start moving that needle in that forward direction? Why is this really important to you to do right now? What makes this moment different than all of the other moments? Think about that. If you want to, you can open up your eyes and you can write some of this stuff down if you'd like. So what is your health status in 3 to 5 years if you were to maintain your same current habits? Who might benefit if you focused on changing your habits? If you did something different than anything you've done before? What is a goal that you could make, that you could get started with right away if you said yes to leaning into fear, to doing something differently for yourself? And why is now so important to you? Why is now so different than all of the other times before? So often we put off taking care of ourselves, and it's not because we don't want to be healthier, okay? It's not because we're lazy, but it's usually because we've told ourselves a story, and we've done so for so long that we started to believe it. And that story started with a fleeting thought. Then it turned into, something that we started to feel, and we started to experience that feeling over and over and over again. And as a result of that, we started to believe that to be true. So sometimes that story consists of feeling like there isn't enough time, that just later would be better, not right now. That we have too many other financial commitments and investing in ourselves is selfish, or that the money could be better allocated towards the kids' activities, the house, or something else. That you'd be able to find an alternative that won't take as much time, cost as much money, or require as much effort. That right now is just not a good time because too many other people need your help, and you need to prioritize their needs over yours. Now, if any of these ring true, it's because these are the stories that we've told ourselves. And you know what? I mean, these are really good rationalizations, right? They pull at our heartstrings. Because they pull at our heartstrings and we make decisions based off of emotion, it's easy to see why we end up in this cyclical cycle of not giving ourselves permission to get what we need. So in me talking to you about this, you may start to experience some inner conflict in your body. You may even decide to try and shrug off what it is that I'm saying or get angry with what it is that I'm saying. And I'm perfectly fine with that because, again, that means that you're eliciting emotion. And listen, that's not directed at me. Okay, those are emotions that have nothing to do with me or what I'm saying. Instead, these are the feelings in your body right now that you're feeling because what I'm saying resonates and it stirred up inner conflict in you. So if you're feeling feelings right now, chances are I'm nailing your problem, right? All right. So while you can always say, I'll work to improve my health later, I need you to remember that that hasn't been working for you. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here listening to me right now. And I want to make sure that you know that you have an option to consider if you're really, really ready to invest in your health. So I am speaking to those of you who are done spending your money on Band-Aid solutions, on bigger sizes of clothing, on hair and makeup products just to make you feel better about yourself. And instead, you're willing to dive in and take a chance on you. Now, while I cannot guarantee any results, I can offer you everything that you need to increase your probability of success. So here's my offer for those of you who are sick and tired of being sick and tired. I have created a 4-month program that starts your transformation with an 8-week self-sabotage curriculum so that you can address the underlying issues that stop you from achieving permanent weight loss. Listen, consistency is the #1 issue that comes through to me as to why you're not doing what it is that you should be doing, as to why you're not receiving the results that you should be receiving. Well, there's something going on there. That's psychology. That is a self-sabotaging behavior. So let's address that, right? Let's do that together. Right from the start, you also get to address your needs in wanting to reduce your weight. So you will have access to a personalized health and wellness app that will tell you exactly what foods your archetype was designed to eat based on your body type, as well as when you should exercise, and so much more. Now, the second 8 weeks go deeper into weight loss to address cravings, cholesterol, blood pressure, blood sugar, and energy. And by the way, as you start to work on your psychology, you're going to start to notice some of your stress level going down, your blood pressure regulating itself, your energy rising, deeper, more regular quality of sleep as well. So you're going to gain access to an online workout subscription on top of everything else. And this is so that you can work out from the comforts of your own home. So there are literally no excuses. Now, I know we're in COVID times, and in some areas within the different states and provinces or wherever you're watching from, you may not have access to a gym anyways. So for right now in a pandemic, this is phenomenal. But for those of you who are not really ready to step out into a gym, you have an additional option. Remember, this program is to provide you with as much convenience as possible so that we can reduce overwhelm, reduce stress, and increase compliance. Consistency. Are you with me? Yes, you're with me. I can feel it. So not only that, but we're going to have weekly laser group coaching question and answer sessions. And this is really important because barriers and justifications are going to come up to you weekly. So you're going to be like, why am I still doing this? Why am I feeling this way? Can't I just do X, Y, and Z instead? And I am going to be there to address those questions for you so that you don't default back to those justifications that are so easy to rationalize. So every single week, we are going to be meeting in a group so that we can go through some of those barriers that in the past would keep you stuck. And this is to keep you accountable and moving forward. Now, this program consists of a wide variety of tools, techniques, such as hypnotherapy and neurolinguistic programming, stress management, as well as 2 subscriptions and group coaching, as I mentioned. Now, because of this, this is a premium program, and buckle up because this program is worth well over $10,000. In fact, to be honest with you, it's worth well over $25,000. Okay. However, I've discounted this program because I recognize that for many of us, investing in our health is already problematic, but investing $25,000 in our health is extremely problematic. So what I've done instead is I've discounted the program so that it is $6,500 USD. Now, that is for the regular, general lay people. Those are for everybody else in the world who has not participated in this workshop. For you, I've discounted the program even further. Now, to be perfectly honest with you, this is the only time I do this, okay? For you only, and until Sunday at 11:59 p.m., the program cost is $49.50 USD. So I've shaved off an additional $1,500. Now listen, the margin is really small for me to keep my business going, operating at that type of price point. And I'm being 100% serious with you. So to show you how transparent I am, here's the costs. So here's the breakdown so you understand exactly what you're getting. There are 2 8-week comprehensive online programs. So 16 weeks. 16 weeks of powerful laser coaching sessions. They are in groups. 3 RTT group hypnotherapy sessions. 5 additional training sessions on the cutting edge tools and techniques. You will have access to a personalized app. Now, let me be very clear about this. For right now, my app, I'm giving you the subscription. I'm gifting the subscription for a year. That is not going to be available in the future. In the future, it's only going to be available for the 4 months of the online program. So understand that in the future, the people who register for this program are not going to have the same opportunities as you're going to have right now. Okay. So let me be transparent. Let me be honest. Let me be clear. You're also going to have access to my private Facebook accountability group, so we can still stay in contact outside of the group coaching sessions. You're also going to have access to my 21-day reset cleanse. Now, this is an opportunity for you should you wish to accept it as part of the program, but it's a lifetime access. So if you don't want to use it now, you could certainly use it in the springtime, which is often when we go ahead and do our reset cleanse, our spring cleaning, if you will, our spring detox. But you're going to have this. And a 4-month online workout subscription, as I mentioned before. So the total value of this is well over the $10,000 range. I valued it at the $10,694 range, but I've had it evaluated. And because of the 20 years of research to develop the app, my partnership with the technology company, the course that you're taking, the online program that you're taking, the psychology part of the program and the weight loss part of the program actually combines literature research from 4 different doctors and experts in the field. So there's been a lot of R&D created to offer you this program. So if you are interested but have questions for me, I'll go ahead and add my booking link so that you can go ahead and book a call with me. If you're interested in getting started right away, I'll go ahead and add that checkout link as well, so you can just dive in. And when you dive in, essentially you start immediately, okay? So, you just go. If you have questions, comments, concerns, I want to hear from you. I want to know what you're thinking. If you've got questions about any of the archetypes, I want you to go ahead and type them in here. And I also want you to vote. I want you to let me know about what you think of this workshop so far. How much value is it bringing you? How much value are you then going to be able to share with your loved ones so that they can stop shaming themselves as well, right? Because it's not just about what we do, it's how our responses, how we model the behavior for other people. That is extremely powerful. So we're going to go ahead and move on now. So I'm going to spend the rest of this time with you talking about the subconscious mind so that you can understand the rules of the mind and any of your self-sabotaging behaviors. So I'm just going to actually change. There we go. You didn't even notice that, did you? So sneaky. So to get us started, I actually want to inspire you with this quote. Close your eyes and just feel what it is that I'm going to say to you. You cannot achieve competency until you remove doubt. When you remove doubt, you are left with only the confidence to pursue what has always been available to you, that which is greatness. Feel that in your body. What's holding you back is you. If we can work on that, nothing is going to stand in your way. And you must know that, because there are thousands upon thousands of examples of people in the world who are doing great things, who have inspired others, who are living their best life, and that is available to you. So let's go ahead and get into our first rule of the mind. So rule number 1, the first rule of the mind is that you need repetition to accept something as true, familiar, or to adopt as a habit. When you remove sugar from coffee, for instance, coffee tastes bitter. But by repeating the action of drinking coffee without sugar, very quickly you adapt to its taste. Let us say that when stressed out, you actually have a habit of action of eating ice cream. So this is hypothetical. You can actually unlearn the response of eating ice cream when you realize that you weren't born with that habit or that trigger. right? That you didn't need to eat ice cream when you were stressed as a baby. Instead, it became a repeated thought that turned into a habit. So you created that habit. You have the same control to what? Right, to uncreate that habit or to get rid of that habit, to change your habit. So when you have learned as a habit, what you've learned as a habit can be unlearned with repeated efforts of incorporating new, healthier alternatives. Rule number 2, your mind cannot hold conflicting beliefs, thoughts, and feelings. Listen closely. I want to lose weight, but I do not want to go work out. I want to public speak, but my voice cracks and I can't think when I've got all these eyeballs on me. You cannot be happy and sad at the same time. You cannot be doubtful and confident at the same time. So listen to me again. I want to lose weight, but I don't want to work out. I don't want to go to the gym. I don't want to actually do the work for it. Okay? I want to public speak, but I don't want the attention on me. Can you hear the conflicting thought? When your mind has a conflicting thought or belief, it doesn't know what you want. For example, self-deprecation and making jokes at your own expense confuses your mind as it does not know the difference between truth and fiction. You use words that contradict with what you really want. Imposter syndrome is another example of conflicting beliefs as a result of wanting to assert your expertise or your opinion while feeling like you lack experience or success in your own life that is needed in your mind to best serve somebody else. Your mind is very literal. The words you use, the pictures you create in your mind, and the emotions you feel are always true for your mind. I need that to resonate with you. Rule number 3, every thought you think causes a physical reaction and emotional response. Our mind reacts to words and pictures. Our mind reacts primarily to words and pictures that elicit emotion. I mentioned that earlier. For example, when we have negative attachments to the words like loneliness, darkness, loss, and uncertainty, we may have a physical reaction like sweating, shallow breathing, heart palpitations, and dry mouth, eliciting the emotional response of sadness and or fear. Suppose we're standing in a lineup to step up onto a roller coaster, and you love roller coasters. In that case, your physiology is going to actually experience the same symptoms as you would if you were afraid of getting on that roller coaster. Your mind does not know the difference between fear and excitement. Let me say that again. Your mind does not know the difference between fear and excitement. If we can carefully consider our word choices, like from I am feeling terrified or I am feeling excited, we can rewire our brains so that the attachment to the feeling is no longer perceived as harmful or negative. With loneliness, we can move from I feel lonely to I'm alone. And we can take it one step further. I am alone, which means I get to, and here's where you get to insert all of the beautiful self-care options that you've otherwise been putting off. When you're thinking negative thoughts, you can swap out those negative words for positive ones, even if the positive ones don't accurately represent the situations. For instance, this is me. When you're about to go on stage and you have stage fright, I have wicked stage fright and I'm an international presenter. Conflicting beliefs, right? There are conflicting roles, right? So I go on stage, or right before I go on stage, after I've been to the bathroom about 50 times, okay, I'm not going to lie. What I say to myself is, I love this. I'm excited for this. I am so looking forward to this. This is such a great opportunity. I am so happy with my decision to do this. This is important. I change my physiology. When I change my physiology, I change my psychology. Bingo. And psychology, ladies and gentlemen, is 80% of the effort. You're welcome. So your brain does not know that you're lying to it, and your physiology changes to accept these words as true. So you're getting revved up. You know that this greatness lives inside of you, and you have the capability, you have the decision-making skills to literally change your life. So our next rule, number 4, we are what we think. We are also what we believe. Said differently, your thoughts form a blueprint that your mind and body will work to make your reality. When you expect to fail, guess what? You're more likely to fail. We make pictures in our head based on past negative experiences, attempting to control these potential outcomes for our future. As a result, we spend most of our time circumventing any possible adverse outcomes, which actually increases our chances of experiencing those negative outcomes. Why? Because we're focused on the negative outcome. Our reticular activating system, the RAS, is a series of neurons that filter our sensory inputs from our 5 senses. And they actually stimulate our brain via a physical response of arousal or alertness. We become more aware. So when we concentrate on negative pictures or outcomes, right, we're concentrating on it in order to avoid it. What ends up happening is we unintentionally direct our RAS to filter in all possible events that would lead to that very experience that we don't want to have. So here's an example of how the RAS can work. You finally decided on the model of car that you're going to buy, and suddenly all you see on the road is what? That model of car. And if not only you decided on the model, but you decided on the color, all you see is that model and color on the road, correct? I know. Or if you or your partner got pregnant, or one of your best friends got pregnant, and pregnancy is in your brain right now, that's all you can think about. You're so excited. All you see is women pregnant. And you'll hear people say, oh my God, there's got to be something in the water, right? That's all we see. We experience the results from having spent enough time picturing the result. And your RAS is now filtering in all related stimuli to ensure that that experience happens. Rule of the mind number 5. Imagination is more powerful, than knowledge. Anxiety is born from imagination. Have you ever noticed that nightmares only happen at night? That sleep disturbance, restlessness, and worry happen at night when you're calm in bed? This is because your logical mind is no longer controlling your thinking. Your brain waves have actually transitioned from beta waves, which are the waves that are activated during critical thinking, and they transition through the frequencies until you get to stage 3 theta, which is your REM sleep stage. Now, during sleep, this is where you tap into your subconscious mind and where all of your emotions live. Since emotions always supersede logic, which by the way is the following rule, our imagination for all worst case scenarios erupt. The ruminating thoughts and past traumas come to haunt us. This is why mental rehearsal, visualization, and manifestation techniques are actually super powerful, as is hypnosis, in getting you what you want. When you tap into your imagination, you're tapping into your subconscious mind. When you tap into your subconscious mind, you are telling your mind what you want, which is what we do in hypnosis. And your mind will actively help you to make the choices that lead you closer to your desired outcome. Number 6, oops, I may have skipped one, sorry, pardon me. Yep, I put the page down too fast, my apologies. In the battle between emotion and logic, emotion will always win. We know this to be true. That is how wars are created. There would be no war if everybody was really logical in their approach, right? We are attached to our emotions. The experiences that we remember are those that are attached to positive or negative emotions. Trauma is the attachment to negative emotions. Do you remember which foot you put your sock on this morning? Did you brush your lower teeth first or your upper teeth first? Back teeth, front teeth, inside of the mouth? Did you wet your toothbrush first before putting it in your mouth or before putting your toothpaste on? Do you remember? Probably not, right? This is because you had no negative attachment to the decision that you were making. We're not afraid to disappoint someone or fail at brushing our teeth. So the action does not require much thought or effort. Instead, we behave based on our negative emotional attachment to failure or success and loneliness, sadness, or disappointment. We make decisions in an effort to steer clear of any potential negative emotion. Of course, this often leads to us sabotaging any potential for a positive result as we attempt to protect ourselves from any possible harm, humiliation, embarrassment, and rejection rather than taking the risk. Rule number 7, every suggestion acted upon creates less opposition for future suggestions. Let us say, for example, that you dislike being in or speaking in a large crowd. It makes you feel vulnerable. You don't know what to say when you kind of walk into the group and they all look at you. You worry that you're not going to be relatable or that by putting yourself out there, you expose yourself to criticism. That's certainly how I felt when I started doing my Facebook Lives. However, when you convince yourself to engage, despite all of the feelings of vulnerability, you actually begin to notice that the intensity of your feelings start to dial down. They start to fade. This rule is why you should always do what you dislike doing first. Furthermore, it's actually what makes successful people successful. They lean into the discomfort and learn to excel at the task, even if they never learn to like it. Adele has stage fright. You would never know it. She leans into that. And is she successful? Very successful. Right? How can you lean into your fear? What is the one goal that you can start with today, right now, that is something entirely different that you've never done before, where you can lean into that fear? Number 8, when dealing with the subconscious mind, the greater the conscious effort, the less it responds. A perfect example of this rule is when you have an answer on the tip of your tongue. So this happened to me yesterday. It was I remembered it at night and I can't remember. I want to say cephalic, but it's not, I'm not saying it right. Cephalic phase digestive response, but I can't say the C word. It's not coming to me. I can't see it in my head right now. But when I stopped thinking about it last night, it popped into my mind and I meant to put it into one of the comments in Facebook, and cephalic phase digestive response, something like that. So when you don't think about it, it comes to you. So if somebody was to say to you, like in a Trivial Pursuit game, and you're trying to come up with the name of the actor for whatever the movie was, it's always one of the Trivial Pursuit questions, right? And you're like, it's on the tip of my tongue. You saw me yesterday struggle with this. What is his name? What is his name? What is her name? What is their name? But when you stop thinking about the movie or the actor, the answer comes to you. To ensure success with your subconscious mind, give it an instruction and then go and do something else to allow your subconscious mind to retrieve the information from you. If somebody struggles with losing their keys, this is a valuable tip for you. If someone struggles with creativity, this is a valuable tip for you. Before falling asleep or whenever you get home, or you've misplaced your keys, you're like, where did I put my keys? Luckily, I don't need them right now, but I'm going to need them later. Walk away, do something else. Chances are you'll remember where you put your keys. When you go to bed at night, if you've got a creative block, before you fall asleep, ask your subconscious mind a very specific question about what you want, and then allow sleep to fall upon you. When you first wake up or while you're in the shower, be prepared to start taking notes, because that is typically when the floodgates open and you get all of the answers to your questions. So rule number 9, once the subconscious mind has accepted an idea, it will stay there until a new idea replaces it. In addition, the longer an idea has been accepted, the harder it is to replace it. So money beliefs are actually an excellent example of this rule. So many of us grew up having heard these money beliefs. Money does not grow on trees. We're not made of money. And in some cases, that people with money are criminals or they're bad people. Because these particular beliefs are instilled in us when we're very young, these beliefs have long been accepted and are much more difficult to swap out. Luckily, with some re-imprinting and rewiring, it is possible to manifest wealth and financial opportunity. In addition to rewiring your beliefs about investing in yourself, about self-worth, self-confidence, and self-esteem. We're getting close. Number 10, the universe will support and mirror everything you believe. Said another way, what you present to your mind will present back to you. Have you ever noticed that when you're impatient, this is when you hit all the red lights, the traffic jam, or no matter what lane you swerve into, you end up behind the slowest car miraculously, and you can't believe how this is happening to you? Well, when you are impatient, you mirror impatience. When you're insecure, you attract insecurity. When you're confident, you attract confidence, and you create opportunity. The good news is that your beliefs are yours to change. We have a habit of thought, and then we have a habit of action. When you change your habit of thought, you change your experiences. I'm going to say that again. We have a habit of thought, and then we have a habit of action. When you change your habit of thought, you change your experiences. Your thoughts and words control your feelings control your actions, and your actions control your experiences. And I've actually got a bonus one for you. Your mind will always choose what is familiar to what is unfamiliar. I spoke of this briefly in rule number 1. Unfamiliarity is inevitable with any transformation program or journey requiring stretch and growth. We only know what is familiar, and what lies beyond your comfort zone, therefore, must be unfamiliar. We consciously and unconsciously always choose familiar. We sabotage ourselves when we feel that we've met our threshold of growth. There's actually something called, when we talk about trauma, the window of tolerance. And people will actually push themselves into a sympathetic nervous response where they actually dissociate and they stop paying attention. They actually sometimes can't even physically move, and that's because they've pushed beyond their window of tolerance. We all have this threshold of growth, but when you work with somebody, when you're supported by somebody to take the steps that are at the pace that work best for you, you can actually start to push that window of tolerance. We believe, for instance, that we met our soulmates when we meet somebody who possesses similar characteristics to one of our parents. This is very common. We're attracted to what we know. We quit diet plans or ignore tasks that make us uncomfortable because the actions themselves live outside our comfort zone. And we're just not able to realize the next version of ourselves. So to change means not to stay the same. And to not stay the same means that you need to expose yourself to unfamiliarity on a regular basis. No more procrastination, no more chaos, no more disorganization. Those are just all ways that you're sabotaging yourself. No more justifying why you're too busy or dismissing the importance of taking the risk. If it feels scary, it is right for you. If you're uncomfortable, lean into it. Listen, I hope that you have found these rules really important, really informative, that they really invite you to take another look as to the words that you're using, the thoughts that you're thinking, and the feelings that you've attached, right, to certain emotions, and the actions that you're taking, therefore the experiences that you're experiencing. That is a hamster wheel that you can choose to get off when you acknowledge what you're doing and take control of it. So again, my mission is global transformation. If I can help you to find your greatness, then you in turn will do the same for all of the people that you touch on a daily basis. Anyway, this one went a little bit longer. Here's to showing up for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for your time today. And I look forward to our final day tomorrow, day number 5, where you're going to learn about the final 2 archetypes of our 6 archetypes. Have yourself a fantastic rest of your morning, day, evening, wherever you are in the world. Here's to showing up for you. Bye.